Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Scary Good Convo. I'm your host, Mr. Chariot. And in today's news, Indian police cleared a suspected Chinese spy after 8 months of detention and released them back into the wild. That's right, I said released them back into the wild. This suspected Chinese spy was none other than a pigeon. That's right. The bird's ordeal began in May when it was captured near a port in Mumbai. The suspected Chinese spy, Pigeon, had rings on his feet with what appeared to be Chinese writing on them. And eventually it turned out the pigeon was an open water racing bird from Taiwan. When asked his opinion on this ordeal, the bird responded with, "So this is what it's like to be black in America." In other news, in the past 2 years, alien sightings, not so much alien sightings, UFO sightings have gone up. Hundreds of sightings have been reported since 2022. And from aliens at a mall to former agent officials claiming to have seen UFOs. As far as these aliens at a mall, I'm not so sure I believe that, because why would aliens just be at the mall for what? And all these people, all these people who have these phones that capture this and capture that, but you see these two tall aliens at the mall and nobody gets them on camera. I don't believe it. I don't believe you. But I'm not a skeptic. I've seen the UFOs before. I've seen ghosts, and I will get into those stories on another episode. But I've seen UFOs. I remember the first time I saw a UFO. I was with my little brothers and we were outside playing. This had to be back in like 94, 95, I believe. And like I said, we were outside playing and it was just getting dark. So the sky was that kind of like purplish color. And we were getting ready to go in. One of us, I can't remember who, said, "Wow, what is that?" So we all look up and we see these triangular shaped crafts darting back and forth across the sky. They were triangular shaped, they were dark colored, and they had like lights on them that went around, the shape of the craft. And they were darting back and forth. Now, the maneuvering they were doing, that is what kind of told us these aren't from this planet. We don't have that kind of technology, because they would be able to zip at a super speed and then stop on a dime, and they were going back and forth across the sky. Now, my dad retired from Lockheed Martin, and he would take us to air shows all the time when we were young. So we knew what planes looked like. We weren't dumb. We knew what planes looked like. And these weren't planes. They at least wasn't earthly planes, earthly aircrafts. Anyway, we watched them for a while, and then I ran in the house to go tell my dad. Being the man he is, he immediately started talking about the mothership. But by the time we got back out there, they were gone. Fast forward, I would say this is maybe like a few years ago. I'm married now. I bought the house across the street from my parents. Yes, I stayed on the same street as my parents. Anyway, my wife and I, we're in the house, we're chilling. And my mom calls, and she tells me, "Quick, come outside." I'm like, "What? What's wrong?" I'm thinking something happened. I'm thinking something is wrong. She's like, "Quick, come outside. Look over your house." I run outside, and I look over the house, and I see these huge light orbs coming out from behind the house. And they come up over the house, and when they would get to a certain height, they would just zip off into the sky. They would just go straight up. They would, it had been like 6 or 7 of them. And Everyone was outside. Everyone on the street was outside, looking in awe. Wow, what are those? What are those? Anyway, as fast as they came up and they were gone, they were gone. So, like I said, I'm not a skeptic. I've seen things. I've never been able to record them or have a phone ready, but I've seen things. But I believe that 96, 97, yeah, I go as far as saying 98% of these stories and videos are fake. I think they're fake. And I don't believe them. But I'm not a skeptic. And on to something else. I'm a spiritualist. So I believe in spirituality and all that. And one thing that was on my mind this morning, I had this dream where I was walking and talking with Whoopi Goldberg of all people, and we stopped at this Mexican restaurant, and we get something to eat, and so blah blah blah. When I wake up, I start thinking to myself, what if dreams are how people connect, in the mind? What if that's how people connect? So, like, for example, like basically saying, you know how you have a dream and you have like random people in your dream? What if those aren't random people? What if those are people somewhere else in the world and they're having the same dream and you're like a random person in their dream? Wouldn't that be crazy? That would be really crazy. But anyway, see you next time on Scary Good Convo. I'm your host, Mr. Chariot.